So this takes me into the next pitfall of masculine practice. And the fourth is when we start to get this experience of I'm not masculine enough. I think that's maybe one of the worst things that gets created in masculine practice is that belief I'm not masculine enough. And the other side of that is it can be a great motivator. It can be a great motivator. But again, it's just a story. So we have to see it for what it is to utilize it intelligently. Now, here's the problem with I'm not masculine enough. It creates inner conflict. And it specifically aggravates three kinds of conflicts. The conflict between me and I internally. And what I mean by that is, do you ever notice how there's an I inside of you and a me? And the I in you is perfect and knows what to do and everything that needs to happen. And then the me tries to go show up and fails miserably and can't do anything the I told it to. The I can go to the gym and has the plan and knows how to make the money and knows what to do. But then the me steps in to actually do it and just fails every single time. Doesn't show up, running late, says the wrong thing. How many of you guys have had this experience? So this is that conflict I'm describing. Because the idea of I'm not masculine enough is also the equivalent of saying that I'm supposed to be masculine and not feminine at all, which is the equivalent of also saying I'm supposed to be this pure consciousness that I have access to, and I'm not supposed to be this wayward me, this fool. So that's my experience day to day to day, and I live in conflict. But at night when I go to bed, I'm just the fool. There I am, the fool failing, right? Dragging my ass another day grinding. And some days I'm doing great, some days I'm succeeding, and some days I'm failing miserably. Some days I'm on top of the world, and then suddenly my wife is in a bad mood that day and says something nasty. Boom. The wayward me feels like a fool again. How many of you guys have had this experience, this inner conflict going on? So this is how this idea of I'm not masculine enough actually bleeds into these moments of our lives without us even knowing. It creates a frustration in ourselves as we obsess on trying to be this perfect consciousness, this perfect masculine, and thereby try and escape or repair or fix our wayward me that never seems to get it together. So we're always dissatisfied. That relationship is always in conflict and frustrated. Simultaneously, the same conflict then bleeds out into our intimate relationship. Because when our intimate partner is behaving a certain way, why can't you just relax? Why can't you take a joke? Why can't you calm down? How come you can't be peaceful and even like me? And we project our dissatisfaction with me onto our partner because they are not meeting the demands of our consciousness. They are constantly frustrating us because they're so chaotic, it seems, so emotional. Always need to be held together in one way or another. How many of you men have experienced this? It's very frustrating, this conflict, right? And ultimately, this same conflict that we have with ourselves bleeds out into our intimate relationship. It also bleeds out into our experience of the world, where we really have this sense that it's us versus nature. I always thought years ago it was a much cooler idea to think that rather than I'm going to die, that this world is going to kill me. At some point, nature will kill me. It's coming for me, just as it's coming for all of you. That idea always kind of lit me up, excited me. Still, it's fun to think about. But again, it's just a story. Because what we're here to realize on this path is that we are that very nature. that you are me, that you are nature itself, and there's nothing separate about you whatsoever.